Hello and welcome to Ant RC. Terry here, and this is going to be an MC6 build update, part 6, I think it is. What's happened? Well, lots, as you can see in the the cab that's sitting in front of you. Last time I did a video, I was just priming it. I don't think I did the first coat of white, so yeah, well overdue for an update. So all the white's done, inside and outside, and indeed the weathering as well. Now it's very harsh, I know that, and I can feel Andrew almost cringing as we speak, but it was always my intention to do this because the truck, as I've mentioned before, is going to be, the idea of it's really quite old. It's been used and abused. It's been out in the mud, through loads of puddles and lots of expeditions and things. But I really am pleased with the weathering. It's taken me a long time, and I've taken very good care with it. And I'm really pleased, especially with the kind of water runoff here and the kind of where the mud's congealed in the kind of join lines. And again, down the back here, as you'd expect, kind of water running off the top and kind of running down as it's gone through puddles and going down muddy tracks. So yeah, it's in that respect, it's pretty much done. So we've got the kind of little ancillary parts here, and obviously this kind of overspill from the filler cap and the tyre support as well. I'm really pleased with it, really happy, and it couldn't have gone much better. The whole idea was that it doesn't look brand new, it doesn't look in good condition whatsoever. So that's been done. What's also happened is the doors. So we've got one inside and one outside section. They're both pretty much the same, but I'll only show you one. Again, weathering has continued. Door handles are glued on, and yeah, it kind of uniformly matches the cab, which is the idea. The top part, the kind of canopy hatch, has been weathered, as has the rail as well. And it hasn't just been that really, it's the interior too. But before I go on to that, the truck is running, the chassis is running, and it's running well, so I will cut to a video quickly. So as you can see, it's fully operational. I have taken out the gearbox servo. I've got a new radio system. I was using the Traxxas, but I wanted to use something different. So it's a Spectrum DX5C. So that's going to be used in this truck. And when I plugged it in, I didn't realise the channel for the auxiliary channel was reversed, and it basically, I hadn't set limits or anything like that. And my mistake, it munched the gearbox servo. But having played with it a little bit with that in high speed, it's far too fast for me. So for now, it's being taken out and operating in one gear. So we'll see how we get on with that. But it's probably likely to roll over if you go too fast, and that's not what this truck's for. Anyway, I'm digressing slightly. So onto the interior. We got some stickers on here and some dodgy painting. The painting didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. The red on the dials there, but again, I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm not a perfectionist, and I'm also not very good at really kind of detailed painting. So when you see Andrew's interior, his is really quite special. I'm secretly jealous, but I'm happy with this. It's what I wanted. I put the pedals on. You got oil marks for the pedals. This guy, the guy in my truck, he's a bit filthy in terms of he's in the mud and he's covered in oil, and he's like some sort of delivery driver, and yeah, he's a bit smelly. So he would have a dirty truck, and that's the whole premise of this. So again, kind of spill marks here and there, drips from that can. It's taken quite a bit of time to paint everything, because I'm doing things differently to Andrew. The way Andrew's doing it is kind of making me shudder a little bit, because I don't really quite understand it, and I think that's the same way for him about me. As you can see, I've painted everything separate to kind of minimize masking, because I hate masking. I absolutely hate it. So the whole idea has been for me is to spray everything separately, weather everything separately, and then I'm going to clear lacquer everything. And you know, the gluing is happening as I go. I have bought these nifty little kind of file scrapers, miniature ones, and that's been great because I painted everything before I stuck the door handles on. And of course, glue doesn't adhere well to paint, so I just scraped some paint off, glued them on, and they've glued perfectly fine. The windows will be next at some stage. So I'm doing it in bits and pieces and working it up in stages. So the bottom of the interior has been done, so the cab floor, so the outside's obviously in white. I need to do some weathering on the front of this. So I'm yet to spray I've sprayed in primer the top hatch, the engine hatch here. So that's going to be sprayed, and I'm going to weather that and this at the same time. The cab floor has been weathered. Again, oil, bits of mud, dirt here and there. I've got quite a few accessories to go inside. I won't show you those just yet, but it will be built up slowly. I've got little maps and a roll mat thing and some can of Coke and things like that. But yeah, I'm really quite chuffed with that. I've kind of I've not glued anything obviously, but I've kind of put it together as a push fit and put it in, and it looks really cool. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, to be fair. And the progress has been quite good. I think it was a week since I last did an update, and there's a lot that's been going on. And of course, because of the way I'm spraying it and painting it, it's bits and pieces here and there. So I've had to look at the manual and study which bits are going where, when, and what I need to paint when. So it's hurt my head slightly, but that's, you know, whole idea. I've made some mistakes in maybe I should have, you know, glued the door handles on and then painted them. That's obvious. And these little, the kind of grab rails at the front of the truck, I should have done those, and I hadn't. So it was a bit harder for me to put them on. I probably should have sprayed the top plate in place as well. Just things that I'd overlooked, either with excitement or not concentrating properly. But nonetheless, it's going really well. So it shouldn't be too long until the lacquering's done and the cab goes together. Really, what I need to do is finish off the top engine hatch, weather that and the front of the floor, so the front bumper of the cab, and then I'm going to lacquer everything separately, just a very, very light coat of lacquer. And then I'm going to glue the windows in on the cab. I will, because obviously there's paint on the inside here, I'm going to scrape the paint away and then attempt to glue them in, then put the windscreen wipers on. Then I'm going to put the wiring on the back of the indicator wiring on the back of the dash. And I'm then going to insert that into the cab and then put the floor in. So it's coming together slowly but surely. So progress. It might not look like there's a huge amount, but in the time it's taken, you know, this is really quite a significant build, and you really have to invest in a lot of time and resource. I'm off this coming week, which is fantastic because it means that I get some extra time to kind of catch up, because I've been doing it after work and spraying in the morning before I leave for work and things like that, just to kind of get myself motivated and get the progress flowing, because after the cab it will then be the flatbed. But I'm just going to, after I've kind of about to assemble the cab, I'm just going to need to reevaluate things and make sure I haven't missed anything, make sure I've covered all the bases that I need. So I think the next thing as well after that is going to be getting this guy to fit, because Andrew has made his guy fit, and there's quite a bit of chopping involved. He's obviously too tall, so I'm going to take a bit out of his legs and then have to kind of reshape him a little bit, because he's torso, the so muscly torso won't allow the legs to sit perfectly horizontal, so he won't be able to sit in the seat flat. So I'm going to have to do some fettling and cutting and filing and bits and pieces. So I don't know when the next video is going to be. It won't be too long, but I will wait until there's a bit more of a significant update rather than you know, a little bit here and there. I think is probably the best way, because trying to spend time building, and then I want to do a run video next week, take the mauler out and get that muddy. So that will be a run video hopefully coming soon. Glad you're enjoying the videos. You know, please like and subscribe. Any comments welcome. And oh, one thing before we go, I just wondered, maybe you need to ask Andrew a question about what's happened to his gearbox, because his gearbox was fine. If you've been watching these videos, if you haven't, his MC8 videos, then please check them out, and you'll notice he had an issue with his gearbox, and it actually turns out he didn't have an issue with the gearbox. He just installed it incorrectly. I had a little bit of a chuckle about that. So yeah, hopefully he'll do an update video confessing, considering I confessed to my upside down axle debacle. So yeah, we all make mistakes. So that's quite funny. I'm sure he isn't quite as amused by it as I am. But that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch up again soon. Bye for now.